Is that a good way to start this particular podcast, Carl?
No, let's not
Shooting
start
birds.
Let's start.
Good evening. Good. Hello, listeners. I'm sorry about that start to this podcast. My name is CC Thornley, and look, I'll just put my picks on, and I actually play banjo.
And I'm Emily Wolfe, and I play the fiddle.
And we have sorry, I stepped all over our very special guest in the studio today is Randall Muir. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, we're stomping all over each other.
R.G.Muir, I think I'll go to
R.G.Muir?
by today. Yeah,
Very good.
R.G.Muir. We've got CC Thornley.
R.G.Muir.
R.G.Muir. And then just me.
F.U. Wolfe.
Yep, that's my motto now.
So
That's right.
welcome again to another Wolfe and Thorn podcast. Now, as you know, this is season 3, and we're going by the month because we're all very busy. We're recording an album, and so we're telling you about the progress and the trials and tribulations of putting an album together. This is our second album that we've done, so if you are listening to the podcast, and like I always say, if you want to support us, don't worry about the whistles and bells. Just pop onto Bandcamp and buy the old album. If you've already bought the old album, buy another copy for your ma.
Yeah, because it's Mother's Day coming up. Buy it for her. She'll love it.
If you want it, if you feel obliged. Otherwise, the podcast is completely free. You're under no obligation to us whatsoever.
But the album is very good.
The album is good, and you were on it.
I was pleasantly surprised.
And you say pleasantly surprised. It sounds like your expectations were
Exceeded.
Exceeded.
Is that the right word?
Hang on, we've got. See, the problem with a mobile home studio is that cats and livestock tend to get involved, and we've got a cat now trying to do some editing. There's always someone. Did you hear that, folks? Meow. That was the cat going, no, the levels. You've got to take the mids out. Yeah, everyone's a critic. There goes the cat is now being evicted. Just until we're done. She's a lovely cat, though, folks. She really is.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
She hardly deserved that treatment, that's certain.
It's okay. She's got a comfy couch on the deck. She's fine.
Thrown out of the house.
She'll look through the window and meow. She did that at one podcast, I don't know, our last season. She was just looking through the window and
What are you doing? What are you guys doing?
What are you doing?
You know what we're doing. So, Randall, you said, your expectations were exceeded.
Well, I had high expectations from the start, Carlos, as you do know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, wow. We shot for
But the sound of the album's absolutely beautiful. I think the way that all the instruments blend. I was super proud of the result.
That was Luke Plum who recorded that. But that album was just the three of us.
Yep.
But this album's going to be a little bit bigger. But we've got Randall in the studio today to give you guys a little bit of a taste of what he's going to contribute, and we're going to chuck him in at the deep end because it's been a long time since we've been together. And we're I'm so rusty. Like I used to know all these tunes note for note, and now I know the other 50% of my notes now. I just bluff.
It's all right. I'll help you out. I still remember them.
So, Randall, you're you're a keyboard player, and you're obviously playing Squeezebox with us today. So, keys is your main thing, yeah?
Absolutely. Piano mainly, but for some reason as a kid, I was obviously a very strange kid. I got obsessed with piano accordion.
Really?
I think it was the buttons. They were a mystery to me, and I just had to unlock it,
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, the family and I were fans of a Scottish duo called the Alexander Brothers.
Ooh.
And we went to see them in the Burnie Civic Hall.
Okay.
And I was fascinated by this dude playing the accordion.
Right.
Yeah.
And how old were you about when they?
Probably 10.
10, right.
Awesome.
And it was Scottish music that drew you in.
Scottish music. The Lasser Bonaccord, I think, was one of the songs they sang.
Oh, wow.
And,
Wow.
Alexander
and a
Brothers.
few others.
Okay. I'll look them up later.
Yeah,
Educate myself.
Yeah. You don't feel compelled to. But
No, but it's
But you also play keys around town too. What are some of the projects you got going on at the moment?
Ooh, projects going on at the moment. Well, as you know, it's slim pickings, and it's just whatever happens whenever it happens.
Right.
I think we've got a bit of a Stitch tour coming up soon, which is like a Hammond quartet vibes. Hammond,
That's cool.
Yeah, guitar and drums. So looking forward to that. And that's probably about it, apart from the odd little, bits and pieces. Yeah.
So
around town.
as the listeners know, we get quite a listenership outside of Tasmania. And I reckon a lot of people would be very intrigued about a project you're involved with called Rektango. Can you tell us a little bit about the institution that is Rektango?
The institution that is Rektango. It was started, it was the brainchild of Tanya Bossack, who was the then leader of the band called Rektango. And we started up a Friday night sort of music and drinks event under the with the courtesy of the Salamanca Arts Centre, who were very supportive of it. And that was sort of the late 90s. It was probably 99 or something like that.
Right.
And we were all, all in our early 30s and young,
Oh.
That's you, Emily.
I know.
Yeah, and here we are 22, 23 years later, all in our 50s, and it's still going.
Yeah, right.
And still running, with courtesy of a government grant for the first time. Obviously, numbers are limited, and we just couldn't keep running without it. So we're very lucky.
Right. And did they approach you about, say, you've got a good thing going, we'll support you?
No,
or did you
not at
seek
all.
them out?
No. You know how it goes, Carl.
I do. In fact, I've got some sad news, but I'll hear this.
Oh,
we'll talk
no.
about
Dear.
first. Yeah.
What do you mean you got sad
I've got some sad news about, our friend Danning at the Providence Cafe.
Oh,
Yes.
that's terrible news. I heard about that last night.
Yeah, she's been a great supporter of live music,
Yes.
and she's been a real lifeline to the musical community, and it's one of the best gigs in town. Well, all her neighbours were very, very supportive, and very often they would come to the gig, except for one single neighbour who has complained to the council, and the council's immediate knee-jerk reaction was to shut down without any consultation, because it's not a loud gig, is it? It's a semi-acoustic gig that you play,
All acoustic.
and so that's been shut down. That's
like
Danning
the
at
restaurant,
Providence
like
Cafe.
the cafe entirely.
No, the music. Yeah, I mean you can still get food there, but what good is food without
That's
music?
a shame.
But yeah,
terrible.
Which
It's terrible.
neighbour? Should we
But
go and...
It's well, this is the thing. See, as musicians, I've experienced this a lot. I've experienced this so often that it just you expect good things to be destroyed
could
by
just
people
support-
that don't understand
Yeah.
it, or that have some weird emotional reaction.
It was never
Yeah,
loud. It
that's
wasn't like it was a rock band playing. It was
no.
always
No,
it was good, tasteful music.
It was it was a lot of jazz. It was a lot of acoustic jazz. They even have a piano in the bar that I don't think you can play. Like I would go there and have a coffee
I
and
seriously
practice
doubt
banjo
you
at
would
the
be
front.
able to hear it.
No.
It depends how close the neighbour, because I know
But-
it's close, but like
Well,
seriously.
and you got to think about these things like you've got one person in a community where something good is happening, and
You
that
know.
one person, everything defaults to that one person
I hate that.
without any consultation. And this happened at this is just so common. And the experiences that I've like when I was living in the Surf Coast, there was a place called the Bird Rock Cafe,
Yep.
and that was repeatedly shut down by one vexatious complainant, and it had an effect on the music community of the whole region, because there weren't many places to play. But in Melbourne, it happened to the Rainbow Cafe, the Rainbow.
Yeah, that was a real shame. That
It happened to Wesley Ann.
Yeah.
Wesley Ann was absolutely destroyed by and that was such a great performance space. And these are all these are famous complaints because these are people that moved in after the live music was well established.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
it's just one of those things as musicians, I guess,
That's disappointing.
we have to live with.
We shouldn't have to.
Interestingly, on a tour, I once spent a whole gig, and the whole band had this dB meter up on the wall,
Yeah.
and we actually had to keep the volume below a certain point because above which the power would cut out.
Oh,
So
Was that- where was that?
It was somewhere in Sydney on a corner,
Okay.
and that's all I
So
can remember.
They installed one when the first complaints came through at Wesley Ann in High Street in Northcote, and the thing was up in the middle of the ceiling,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And what would happen is there would be a resonant dB frequency that wasn't part of the band,
Yeah.
and there would be no warning and there was no display.
Mm.
The electricity would just cut out, and so you would be super quiet, but. And I saw that destroy.
It's probably the coffee machine or something.
Yeah,
was it?
yeah. It was just the way it was shaped, because it was an old church hall. So you stand down there and your voice resonates down there. And the
Yeah.
guy who's complaining is two houses behind it, who moved in well and truly after.
Yeah.
But I don't know what. I guess as a musician in Australia, particularly, you get so browbeaten, you just sort of.
That makes me really sad to hear that.
Yeah, it's very disrespectful. It's
It is.
ridiculously disrespectful.
It's like, what
and for the council too. But anyway, there you go. That's my sad
Yeah,
news.
it is
Oh, I'm
sad
sorry,
news.
Dad.
Because we've had many
We've had great gigs there,
podcasts
and we've
were
done
recorded there.
we've done live podcasts
You
there
know.
as well.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
folks, when you come into Hobart, that's it. Forget about it. Rektango, Providence, it's all over. It's finished. Go home.
Well, hopefully, I mean, I did speak to Danning last
yeah.
last night, and she is actually trying to negotiate and work to make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's an unfortunate thing because legally, there's with the zoning laws there, it's all residential, so she has to be wrapped up by 6.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, so legally
6
it's difficult,
o'clock,
but,
not even like
but
7.
I think she's trying to.
I mean, the thing is, it was jobs for people. That music was generating jobs.
Yeah, it was jobs.
And she never made money out of it.
No,
Yeah.
Always
that's the
lost
thing.
money
Yeah,
out
it's
of it.
her-
Like it was just a labour
For
of
the
love.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, except for that one person in the community. Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah. Well, you're probably not listening to this podcast, but if you are, boo!
Boo! Anyway, we hope Danny can work something out.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've got ourselves all nice and lovely depressed and pissed off.
No, just anger. Anger's a great emotion
Yes.
to channel into music, don't you think, Carlos?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Disaffection is definitely
Yeah.
a song generator.
Eliminates fear, and
Yeah.
so
And I
you
think
can
that's
play
why
boldly.
The older you get, the more complacent in life you get. You notice these artists, they have great careers when they're young, and then they struggle to get back to it because they're chilled out now.
Yeah, haven't got that emotional intensity.
Yeah. Should go and take the house. That's another story. See how angry they get then.
Lovely.
I feel like the tone of this podcast is going to go pretty...
Yeah, well, I'll try and keep it on path.
Yeah,
Very good.
Em's a very diplomatic
Now,
factor.
so with the album we've got coming on, so we've brought back on Randall, of course, who's our guest today. We've got another bass player. We've had a bit of a shuffling of the personnel in that, and we've had Ben Brinkoff at some point in there. And as we come along, folks, we'll play some more music and talk to you about that today. But to give you an idea of what it might sound like, we might just play a tune, since that's what we promised
That's what
you.
we're here for. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
What we're going to start with King Pippins because
Yep.
we play this song a lot. I play this song a lot. I love it. We played it last week, but this time it's with Squeezebox. Is this? Can I call it a? I just call them Squeezebox. It's not, is it?
Well, they are a box, and you do squeeze them. I think it's a legitimate, term,
Yeah.
whatever.
But I'm sure someone's going to stand up and say, "No, that's a
Piano accordion. Yeah, as opposed to a banjonian,
melodiousness."
both of which you could label as squeeze boxes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then
Because they are boxes and you squeeze them.
Indeed, right?
so glad you guys cleared that up.
Yeah.
Should we do King Pippins?
Yes, King Pippins.
So King Pippins is
How
an
should we
Apple
start
Shed
this?
tune, and look, if you're enjoying jamming it, you can just take it away.
Oh, do bloody well. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, here goes nothing. good. Romp. That was King Pippin's Polka, which we're doing on the album.
Is it a polka or a polka?
Ah,
A polka?
yeah.
Is the L silent?
Liquor in the front, poker in the back, is what they say in the classics.
Oh, do they?
Are you going to edit that one out, Carlos?
No. That's a Reverend Horton Heat album, I think. Yeah,
That's terrible.
It is.
so I don't know the polka. I guess it
Polka?
would be polka. Yeah, but we down here in Tassie, we just call it King Pippin's Polka.
Polka.
Yep.
Because nice little thing.
And that tune's actually, when I've gone to National Folk Festival, people jam that tune that
Right.
aren't Tassie.
That aren't from Tasmania.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stop that immediately.
So it's actually
Cultural appropriation.
a well-known tune, this one,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So, and we're going to record that probably with bass as well. Is the other exception.
Yeah,
there
definitely
too.
with bass.
Yeah. Yeah. One day we'll give you the schedule soon, Randall.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's been a bit crazy. Oh, because the other news is that, that sort of threw me off the plan a bit was that I got COVID a few weeks ago.
Ah,
Yeah. It was funny. Did I ever tell you, like, when I had my...
funny as in hilarious or
funny
funny?
as in just the
odd?
same sort of bleak looking into the abyss of life funny. It's like, this is absurd. No, because I had my double injection.
Yes.
And after the second injection, my girlfriend and I got a travel voucher, so we went off. We had our injections, then we went off to celebrate. And that night, I had the strangest dreams. I had the strangest dreams that I was burning up with fever and that I couldn't breathe, and I was like in a hospital bed going, and I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, no, that's not happening at all. I'm perfectly healthy. What?
You told me about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I actually got COVID, it was kind of like the fever, but there wasn't the breath.
Breath. Yep.
But that was it for one day. There was a fever, and the rest was like a cold.
Yep.
So I just went to get my money back for the for the bloody vaccinations.
Oh,
So mate, this is a rip-off. And they said you got it for free. I said, oh,
oh.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
don't
it'll
worry.
be it'll be on your tax bill.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you're better.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am a bit better. Yeah. But that threw things out because I just had to do. I couldn't do anything for a week.
I know. It's
You
weird
know,
for you.
We had to order supermarket stuff online.
I know.
That was an experience.
That is an experience. It's good fun.
Anyway, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Right.
So we're a little bit behind the schedule. So we'll have to have another rehearsal with Randall and everyone and the big band when we sort of we'll get
Yeah.
that studio.
We'll be
done.
right. We'll do it like 10 minutes before recording. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Jesus. No. It's got to be beautiful. It's got to be every note has to
Okay,
be
so
perfect.
20 minutes then.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
25. Do you think-
25 minutes and a half
a
before we
break
start
in the
recording.
middle.
Yep. We'll be fine.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing,
Yeah.
folks.
And Pippin's polka, Is it Uncle Pippin?
It's King Pippin.
King Pippin's polka.
And we'll decide whether we want to do that with that song that we usually put it in. So King Pippin's
Yeah.
is like an Appleshed tune, but there's a Cape Barron tune we put that with, which is Uncle Affie's Tap, and we might join the two up. But I think they're good enough to stand. I like. We have yet to make these decisions, folks.
Yeah. Oh, we could do them a lot standalone or as a set.
Yeah,
Doesn't
because look,
They work on their own.
Yeah.
Decisions are debilitating, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's part of it. That's why we're doing the
Yeah.
documentation of this process that we go through, because we probably will have a sit down session where we nut it all out on paper, before we go in there, because we do. As we looked last week, we did discover that we did have some in the cans that we shared that we've already done.
Yeah. My dad loved Down Longford Way. He got very excited.
Did he?
Down
Yeah.
Longford
Yes,
Way.
he did. Yeah, we recorded.
Did he listen to the last week's podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And a few other people were asking me about it as well.
Oh,
Yeah, Tasmanians asked me about it. So there you go.
extraordinary.
I know.
They're still being out. When I look at the data, those 10 Tasmanians that listen to this podcast
Go, you
compared to
guys.
the 15 we have in Germany,
Yeah.
Wow. 15 in Germany. How did that happen?
don't know.
Wow.
But thank you very much, Germany. That's very kind of you. Very good.
Very good.
You're welcome here anytime.
Yep.
Should we play another tune?
Let's do another tune.
All right.
Let's do Moscow Jig.
Which is actually more a Moscow waltz, isn't it?
Yeah, we played more of a waltz. We do.
Do the names mean anything? Like,
Look, well, this is a Paddy Riley tune, and we play a lot of Paddy stuff. We have recorded, we played it last week, the Glen Huon Waltz, written by Paddy. Yeah, she just sort of gave it a name. I don't know if there's a story behind it, but we've interpreted more playing it as a waltz rather than a jig feel.
do you know why she called it Moscow Jig?
I think it was just because it's a minor key. It's that moody.
Somber.
So I guess maybe that's why I like playing it as a waltz, because I can be moodier with it rather than a jig. It's sort of, they always go so quick, fast, But yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
All right.
Collar violin, I believe we commenced this one. Is that right?
Sure, yeah. Nice.
The Moscow. Do you like that?
That was fun.
Little dance?
Beautiful, yeah.
That was lovely.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to do a tune in Russian, isn't it, Carlos?
Especially in these times, challenging times.
Let's not go into that.
Oh no, there was no intention.
No intention.
Yeah.
My daughter Lena was enjoying that. My
Yeah,
mum
she's Russian.
was waltzing. Well, she's half Russian. Yeah, she's right there.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
Hello, Lena.
Wow,
Hello, how you going?
how gorgeous.
She's got an egg shaker.
Very good.
Oh.
Excellent. Has she learnt the chords yet?
We're working on it.
Ah.
She's still a little bleary-eyed from her afternoon nap.
Yeah,
Or
she had a
morning
big
nap.
smile on. Yeah, she is half Russian. Yeah, she gives me a pretty stern look.
So she has to take full responsibility for everything that's happening right now.
She's looking more Irish there.
You're terrible.
He is
Yeah,
terrible.
I don't know where the blue eyes come from.
Yeah,
Mm.
and slight sort of reddish tinge.
Yeah, she's exactly a spinning image of me as a baby.
Yeah, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like a mini me.
Yeah. Cool.
No, you're a beautiful
What
baby.
is
Yeah,
this?
I'm just-
You haven't even seen photos of me as a
no,
baby,
I'm
except
just,
for those ones
I'm
there.
just having cheap shots.
You are in cheap shots.
Cheap shot.
I'd imagine
Carl,
you as a
that's what we
baby,
call it.
that beard would have still been there.
Yeah, the
and
beard was actually quite off-putting for a lot of people when I was a baby. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great stage name, Carl Cheap Shot Thornley.
CC stands for cheap shot. Cheap shot. Cheap shot. Cheap shot. So yeah. So how are you feeling about jumping in on these tunes after so long, Randall?
Look, I'm loving it. I
Yeah.
think you two have got such a beautiful vibe happening together. It's so easy just to fit in.
Yeah, because you don't often
it's-
play
I
the
really
trad
like it.
Taz stuff, would you?
Never.
Yeah, right.
Never. So for all you trad folkies out there,
You're making a lot of...
I extend my heartfelt apologies.
You're making a lot of noise there, Emily.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah.
yes.
But no, apologies
To-
fully accepted there, Randall.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Because
Listen, I know everything I'm doing is wrong.
No, it's. Oh, you're not doing anything wrong. Not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. Well, 'cause when I started playing these tunes, they were just a revelation. Like, because there was no sort of, this is how you should do it. The only how you should do it would be just make it sound good.
Yes.
And I think
That's the rule, isn't it?
the essence of what we have here is the fact that we have this canon of music and then we can just have fun with it.
I think that's why I like playing with you so much with these tunes, because we sort of just break it apart and do something different with it, interpret it differently. It's not so, I don't know, just playing it on the dots, you know, sort of break away. And it's fun to...
Well, because the dots to me are like, you know, I say this to students, I say, the dots are like the map to the shop.
Yeah.
The first time you go to the shop, you read the map. The second time, you already know the way. So you can go through the park, you can swing around the roundabout, you know.
Yeah.
But if you read the map while you're going to the shop, the second time, you'll probably run into a street pole or something if you're not aware of what's going on. So that very stretched metaphor, I think, is worth something.
it's a
Well, I
great
think
metaphor.
that's to say, like, even when I was at uni and I was learning the jazz standards and stuff, you know, you would learn it once, get it memorized, look away from the music, and then you reinterpret it your own way with playing it. I sort of take that approach with all tunes that I learn.
Synthesis. It's the fancy word if you do
Yes.
Master of Education at uni. Synthesis.
Oh, really? I don't remember that word.
Is it not pronounced synthesis anymore?
Well, synthesis.
Oh,
is-
it's a
no, I don't
different
know.
word.
I actually learnt that word from studying astrology many years ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
You've got to
okay.
synthesize the information properly. You know?
Thesis.
There's a
Alright.
synthesis, and you synthesize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always call that synthesis. It's like controversy or controversy.
Oh well, no.
What do
See,
you
that's the
do?
beautiful thing about the English language. You can put on affectations.
Sound more clever than you
So,
actually
yeah.
are.
Yeah, and put the syllable on the wrong emphasis.
That's beautiful.
I do that to my girlfriend quite a bit. I'll deliberately misread words just casually to drive her insane, you know, which I get a lot of joy out of. I don't know why I shared that with you listeners then. That was a bit of a
That's a bit personal.
point
Can
and
we
pointless.
can we continue on that little digression for a minute? My
Yeah.
favourite one is kilometre.
Kilometre.
Yeah, because obviously, rigorously correctly, it should be kilometre.
Yeah.
But everyone says kilometre, so then it's like, well, should we then say millimetres and centimetres?
Centimetres. Yes, we should.
How many millimetres are there in a centimetre? I love it.
Oh, wow. You know, you can go to school and teach that to kids.
Yeah. They get the whole. Actually, because I am at school teaching kids, and every now and then
I know.
I will misread a word, just especially if you had to read out a bulletin. I'll pick a word and I'll just misread it, just to see if they're paying attention. And some of them get quite angry.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yes, that's not how that word's meant
Yeah,
to
it's
be.
like, what are you telling me? It's like Disney. You told me you spent years making me do it this way, and now you do it this way.
Yes, so what, you're angering children?
Yeah, angry. Every once in a while, the more literarily astute ones, the more sort of, you know, that please teach me the rules of English.
The Virgos.
The Virgos.
Yes.
Indeed.
Okay.
So that was Moscow's Jig we just played.
Yes.
Do you want to play another one?
Do you want to do another Paddy's, or we can do another one off the list? We have a list.
Oh,
Well, it's a
we do.
fancy sticky
Try
note.
to keep ourselves organised. I'm happy to do whatever you'd like. Why don't we let the guest decide?
The guest. Have
That's
we
you.
done? Well, a page is on Fedora's Dilemma.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Not doing that one.
No, just kidding. No, let's do it.
This is the collar voce bit, isn't
Yeah.
it? Or
Yeah.
the collar
Yeah.
violin,
Yeah.
This will be
collar
interesting.
strings.
And then, and we were just practicing before, and I'm just excited now. We changed like one note,
Yeah.
and for me, it's just a
And
whole
that's
whole
really
new tune now.
Mine are
Interesting.
going dominant. Yeah.
So, because in that last line there is there's a dominant going into the minor, and because I'm always playing harmony and not really like I come to the note second, like my entryway is through the chords. So for me, it was always an F sharp. I was always driving that F sharp because it's D7, which is the dominant chord leading into the G minor. I was driving that F sharp into the resolution in the G minor in that bar, and it's interesting because it's like an extra added. It's like an annex to the. Like I see this little movement here. You'll hear what we're talking about in a minute, folks, when we play the tune.
Yeah.
You know, there's like an annexation going on there, which I just Now that's to me what makes the tune. But you guys, you've always read that as F natural. In
Yeah,
that bar
because
in the
it's not.
melody.
If we wanted a sharp, it should be an accidental.
It should be
But
accidental.
it's because I look at the dots, but well, I do look at
But
both.
we're going to
but,
make it a deliberate
Mm.
rather than.
Yeah.
but now I feel like I have to chat to Patty and go, maybe we should do it. Can I convince her to go F sharp because
Yeah.
it sounds really fun.
Yeah. Well, you listen out for that, folks, because we're going to play this tune. It's called Fedora's Dilemma. It's another Paddy Riley tune, one we are doing on the album.
And Patty actually won a Signet Tune Writing Award, the People's Choice Award, with this tune
Swinging.
that we recorded
Yeah, right.
on my phone.
We got nothing
here.
out of that, did we? No.
Well,
We got
we-
nothing except the glory.
Patty
that
got
enough?
something because it's her tune.
There are other
No, she
degrees.
did give us she gave us a card.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, we got a card.
Remember? And
Well,
she gave
that's-
us a little bit of money to put towards podcast.
She
Do you remember
did?
that? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
How much did she
Do you
give
want to take that back then?
Yeah, no, I'll
Thank
take you. I didn't see that money.
You were here. We opened it together, and I
Did
think
we?
you took it, put it in the band kitty.
Oh.
Carlos,
Jesus
we're getting to that age where we start forgetting little details like that.
I've probably already spent that money on the way home putting it in the band kitty.
She gave us $50.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very
Oh,
much, Patty.
there you
That
are.
you didn't have to do that.
I told her that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you did. And I
Yeah.
would have made a joke about it either way. I don't. But
Yeah.
rest assured, you
Yeah.
didn't have to.
I don't know
do
where the
that.
card is. I think it's here somewhere, but yeah.
Right. Well, we'll review that card at the end just to make
Yes.
sure all the details are there.
Yes.
Which we'll paper trace.
Yeah. She insisted that she wanted to give us something
That's
because we
very
did
kind.
record it for her.
Generous.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
So this is that tune, but
So
this
this is
time we're
this
going to
tune.
rush into it around the kitchen table as we normally do. So, yeah, look out for the thrills and spills in this one, folks. Keep an eye out for that F sharp.
Yep. I've got to remember to do it because that's the other thing. I've been playing this tune for over a
Yeah.
decade, so I've got to go, all right, change one.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Randall will be right on the knife's edge with this too, because
We'll be fine.
Mm.
I'll see you at the other end.
You're shaking your head there, Randall.
Oh man, I think there was one chord I got wrong every single time.
Really?
I forgot the F sharp once, that last
you?
one. I did it
Really?
in the first part of it, then I remembered.
Oh. Well, halfway through the middle, I thought, "Where am I? Get back on track. Just go. Just sit in the zone and do the chords. Don't try and be fancy."
Yeah,
Yeah.
the B flat gets me because on accordion, like you got the chromatic jumps are the biggest ones,
Right.
in the left. So it's like missed it every single time.
Wow.
You know.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah. So that there.
Right.
There. See. So I mean, it's my own stupid fault. I should actually practice it so that I stop.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, that was good. I think we managed that all right. Yeah,
Mm.
that was.
I just
Fedora's
love the F
dilemma.
sharp now. That's really fun.
Yeah. Well, I would dig into that when I was playing it with
Yeah.
you previously, like because it really does sort of that resolution that because then straight away you go, and then you got that G diminished there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I like to voice that sort of down here.
But
So
it's
if I
just,
go like,
That's
one
nice.
thing I noticed,
Yeah.
the faster you play this, the quicker those changes come around. So you don't have time to really. At the start, you're really leaning on them,
Yep.
but at the end, you're just racing through them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I like doing it like that, slow, and then gradually getting faster. You know, it's one of those tunes.
So we're gonna have bass and percussion with this one, or this is gonna
I
be.
think we're gonna have bass.
Yeah.
It'll just be 4. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Unless you want to add percussion, but we
Well, I
haven't.
reckon a little bit might be all right, but we've just got to
Cool.
find the person in Hobart who has got the time and the ability.
Maracas.
Maracas, I'd take anything. Yeah,
You know, Lena can play a really good egg shaker.
can she? All right,
Yeah,
well,
she's
we're not
quite
paying
good.
her though. Yeah, well, I can't pay her.
No, that's all right.
She's too young to be paid. She'll do it for free though.
Would be like-
Internship.
That'd be child labour,
It'd
wouldn't
be
it?
kind of weird, yeah, but
It'd be an
maybe
internship.
Mm.
Well, we'll write it
Maybe
up as an
not.
internship.
Maybe let's not do that. But yeah, finding someone who can do percussion. Yeah, we know some
Yeah.
people. There's bound to be someone out there.
Well, everyone's so busy.
I know.
Are they?
Yeah, like I've got a very
That's
good
news for Randall.
in the Black Swans of Trespass. We've got Jack Lester, who plays drums for us and every other band in Hobart, and he's also in the army.
And he works at a school. He's a teacher aide,
Wow.
and he works full time because rent's so expensive. So he has to.
Rent is through
Rent.
the
After
roof.
our
not get
gig at
started
Rektango,
on
we
it.
went out and rode on scooters and had a drink.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that he had to sell his percussion instruments to pay rent.
No.
He didn't want to
Jesus.
do it, but he had to do
You
it to
didn't
pay
tell
rent.
me that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you should have come for drinks on a scooter because I convinced Alexia to go on a scooter, my
Really?
husband. It was hilarious.
As well
6
as
foot
working
rushing on a
full
scooter.
time, you need to sell your
Yeah.
drum gear to pay rent.
I
Yeah,
know.
their
Well,
rent's
he lives
extraordinary.
top end of town. Won't say work because, you know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But that's not the point. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been where he's at. The house is not that big.
And we had to stop rehearsal there because his landlord complained of the noise.
Yeah.
One of
So not only are they squeezing us out of the rent, they're squeezing us out of music as well, these rich boomer property owners.
I don't think you can overgeneralise. you
Oh,
know,
no, I
with-
totally
with the
can. You
boomer
should see me
thing.
go. You should
Yeah,
see me
really?
go. Yeah, I'm excellent. I'm
Yeah,
really
you
good at
can,
that.
Actually,
I'm really
you
good
can
at
do
it.
that. Yeah, and you did, but
I'd just like to get an
Not sure.
emotional reaction. You know,
yeah,
from the
yeah.
listeners. Yeah.
I'm just not sure how true it is that it's.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's the boomers' fault.
Well,
you
the
know?
ones that really piss me off are the Gen Xers.
But we are Gen X.
I know. They disappoint me.
Really?
Yes, look at us.
How are you a disappointment to yourself?
Well, I could have been much better. Could have been much better.
In what
Gosh.
way?
Here we go. I knew we're getting you two on the podcast.
Because I thought
Yeah.
the Gen X is the salvation of the human species.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
then we just didn't. We
we
just didn't.
we are the nicest ones, though.
Well, because I grew
If
about
I could be so humble.
the thing about because you know how I grew the beard for charity. Like I used to think,
Yeah.
that as a musician, it is my absolute duty to bring the value of music into the community and show people what it can do, and use the positive effects of music. So that's why I grew a beard, was to raise money for a charity. Now I could have picked any charity, but I wanted the one that meant something to me, and that was. Because you got all these human charities, your diabetes, your blind stuff, your homeless stuff. But I chose Brightside Animal Sanctuary because the
nice.
animals,
They're amazing what they do there.
yeah, and she is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
it is absolutely amazing what they
Yeah.
do. So I grew this beard and we got a good response from most. And I think the problem is we live in a bubble because a lot of people that I went to when I started doing this, the first reaction was suspicion and negativity. with a lot of people. I'm
Really?
saying I'm growing this beard for charity. Here are the stipulations. Would you like to know about it? There's a gig on at this date, and we're all going to come. It's $5.
We did it at Pooh Bar, didn't we?
All the money goes to Brightside Animal Sanctuary. And the amount of people that said, "So what? You're just doing this for yourself? So you're just going to take the money?" I'm like,
What?
no.
Just that's people just jaded with the horrible, so many scams. Like every
Yeah.
time you turn around, there's a scam. So
Yeah,
people have
that's
lost
true.
trust in everything.
Yeah.
But
So I then after that and many other experiences when I would actually try to go to the community and try to raise some money and try to do some good, and then the reaction you get as a musician, and then the reaction you get as an independent do-gooder, not from a corporation, who's standing up by themselves and saying, "I'm going to run this, stuff it. I've got the time. Let's do it."
Did you post like you handing over the money?
Oh, yes.
And all that
Oh,
kind of
yes.
thing. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, thank you everyone. Here's where all.
And I had to, and actually we went in there and we took a photo and Em put it on the, not you, the other Emma who does
Yeah.
Brightside, she put it up
I
on the
remember.
thing and all that sort of stuff, But and even after that, and there's been a few other situations with attempted charity work in the community. I've just had to go, you know what? I'm just going to look after my worm farm and I'm going to grow my garden, and that's where the charity's going. Because it's people are weird, and everyone says be the change you want to be, be the change you want to see. But when you do be that change, people go, "What are you doing? You're being a change. Don't
that's
be a
so
change.
true.
Sit
That's
down."
So true, isn't it?
I was asked to do a charity event, to run a charity event for a doctor in town. And then she was all enthusiastic and said, yeah. I said, all right, cool. Well, leave it with me and I'll get back to you. And then that was it. There was no, we emailed, we rang, and then kept getting a receptionist who was really angry with us. And I was like,
Oh wow.
I'm not making anything out of this.
No, not worth my.
Not
my
really
trouble.
worth it. So that's why I no longer do the community. I don't believe in, as musicians, I don't think that we should go into the community and give them bloody anything.
Wow.
Does that sound harsh, listeners?
Probably.
Because that's you I'm talking about. No,
Well, does opinion count? No, because it's just air. It's just what's going on in people's heads. The fact that the powerful thing is you raised money, you gave it to Brightside, and the animals
had at least a year's worth of dog food.
Great.
So
So the job done.
Job done.
Human opinion does not count in this particular circumstance.
Yes, but the problem is if you want to do it again,
Yeah.
you've got to get on the publicity. You've got to build. It's a DIY gig.
Yeah.
You've got to book the venue. You've got to do all the ticketing. You've got to do all the promotion, and that's when you run into that
Yes.
attitude of why would anyone in their right mind do something for somebody else?
Purely for the
What's in this for you?
doing it,
Well, because I've got time and because I live in the community, and if I make this part of the community good, then it has a flow-on effect to myself and everyone else in the community.
it's just challenging their own selfishness. That's all. That's all they're reacting against.
You reckon?
Yeah. It's like
Why didn't I think of this? Are you saying I'm
No, no.
weaker than you sort of
No,
attitude?
no. They're just guilty that they
that's what I
don't
mean,
do that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So
like,
you're prodding their guilt, and they react with.
well, they can. It's just like you can pay your tithes and you're guilt free. Just give us $5 and it's fine. You get straight through. You get ushered straight through
Carlos,
the pearly
they're
gates.
obviously not Gen Xers.
It's all so easy.
I know.
Yeah, but
Put on a charity show where only Gen Xers can come, and
that would be horrible.
Why?
Can you imagine a bunch of jaded old assholes like us getting up there telling us how good music used to be in the 90s?
Calling me a jaded old
telling us all
asshole.
about the Pixies and all about
Careful
this.
now. He might not want to record with us if you're going to call him that.
Man, the last person I'd want to do a gig in front of is me.
That's true. I don't want to play to a bunch of tall, bearded men.
Yeah. No, tall bearded men. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we did get an offer from the Tall Bearded Men's Association to do their annual end of year thing,
We
but I'll tell them no.
Yes, you tell them no.
I
'cause
said,
you're
Emily
lying.
said no.
But
She
that's
doesn't want
any
to play.
blues. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, go on.
No, that's any blues gig you're playing to.
I know. I'm
old-
well,
playing to a bunch of grey beards.
We're going to have a bunch of angry tall bearded men giving us emails. What the hell's wrong?
It's a joke, people. Come on.
Men's
Go and
freedoms.
donate to Bright Eyes or something.
Yeah.
Brightside, sorry.
Bright side.
Brightside.
Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
No,
Yep,
that's
good story.
It's a good story. Yeah.
Perhaps we should
Next
play
tune.
another tune.
Yes. Because Lena's getting restless. She wants us to keep playing.
And people still stay on the podcast in amongst all this endless
I
ranting.
have no idea.
Right.
I have no
I think
idea.
people stick at it, or they just fast forward it and just go to the tune.
Yeah, because we do sort of bullet the tunes so you can go directly to the tunes.
Yeah.
But some people stay for the banter. And
Yep.
I know I stay for the banter because I like to listen to myself.
Yeah.
I think I'm handsome in the voice.
You do a pretty good job. You're all right.
I honestly have no idea. I have no idea what the listeners do, Randall. I really don't know. But we
They'll
just
listen to
charge
it
ahead.
backwards or something. I don't know.
I have no idea. Back trace us on the internet so they can get our credit cards. Who knows?
Thanks for hanging in there anyway, listeners. We
If you're still
appreciate it.
there in Germany hanging out.
Should we play another tune?
Yeah, sure. Let's
What-
do the Joys of
Joys of
Piping.
Life.
Joys of piping. This one was a ripper from memory.
Just let me.
And this is a C.C. Thornley intro, isn't it?
Is it?
Yes,
All
I
right.
think so.
So I've just put a caper, which I don't normally put on my thing, but it's good because I can do all the.
Yeah.
Bit of open string action.
Yeah. All right. So I'm starting
You
this
should.
one.
Right.
So-
Yeah.
No, but yes, yes, but no.
It's close enough.
It's that one, isn't it?
That
I'm
sounds
a
better.
little bit sharp.
But that's okay, because
Although-
I'm a little bit sharp.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The Joys of Piping by Max Webb. I missed the inning, sorry.
I think that could have been slower
Could it have? Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
because we want to play it more swung. So if that was that was actually hard for
that
me
was in
to.
between, wasn't it? It was in
That was hard for me
between.
to actually
Yeah,
put
it was
in
too
the
jaunty. Can you show me where you would like
Yeah.
it?
Was that even a bit quick? What was that about?
Yeah, it was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Tempo's funny.
It is.
Yeah, and it's
It is.
just with that tune as well because as we were running it through before, if it's straight, it's kind of it loses the. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to really articulate the tune when it's
yeah.
too fast. So I like to play it slower so I can do the little because it's groovy and it's quite, for playing the melody on the fiddle, it's not, because Max Webb was in a pipe band, and I think this, well, hence the joys of piping, I think it's originally for pipe bands, so it probably works easier.
Yeah.
But on fiddle, it's not quite fiddle friendly fast.
Yes.
So that's what I was saying before, like we sort of play it more of a like that swung hornpipey feel rather than a real feel, because otherwise I'd have to modify it to make it work on fiddle to make it actually easier.
Oh dear, I'm just going to tune up here.
But it's a really nice tune. I really like it.
And tempo's funny too. Like for rhythm instruments, if they're not playing the melody, they're not. It's hard to tap into a tempo properly. Like often, like for that one, for argument's sake, like I found myself erring back to the fast tempo because I wasn't playing melody. I might learn the melody for this one.
Oh, dude, that'd be nice because it sounds really lovely on accordion.
Yeah, right.
I'll send you it in electronic version.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about paper.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't have to lose it. It'll just be on your phone.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's the world of technology.
Yeah. I got my mum onto listening to the podcast on her phone. So.
Oh, yes. It was nice to see your mum.
And if I can get her to vote Greens, then that's success.
Jeez. All right. We're not going to go there either.
You know, I think I got my parents to vote Greens once.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Serious. Once.
They came back, never again, Randall, never again.
Well, the thing is, they agree with most of the policies. And
Well,
it's
that's
quite
thing,
crazy.
isn't it?
Yeah.
The Looney Greens was the best policies. I'm like, come on, and you guys stand anyway. Let's not get political.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
All
please,
right, then.
come to you
We've
two.
already slagged off all the generations we can. We've bitten the hand that feeds us numerous times.
What do you call the generation before boomers? This is sort of like born during
they called
the
them
war.
the builders.
The builders.
I believe so.
Right.
I don't know.
The builders.
But you know, because you know me, Randall, I'm a bit of a hardcore astrologer, and I go by my generations are based on the movements of Neptune.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Right.
interposed with the cycles of Jupiter.
Okay.
And you really start seeing the generational zeitgeist movements.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, but definitely Neptune, and you can tell like at the point where you go through fashion, like you'll wear these sorts of jeans, and then these jeans will become unfavourable, and then a little period while later they'll come back because they're nostalgic.
Yeah.
And that period is about 14 years.
Okay.
Which is about the cycle of Neptune.
Are we back to baggy again?
I don't know. I think we're post now.
Well, we're doing flares.
Cycle of Neptune.
Yeah.
Big time.
We're doing
Big
flares.
time flares.
Like I was born in the
So-
70s, but it's like
Like what they
it's
wore in
just
1960, if you wore that in 1974,
Yeah.
it would have been uncool.
Yeah.
What you wore in 1974, if you wore that in 1988, would have been uncool. And that's kind of like the point where it's
Okay.
not nostalgic, it's not a throwback, it's not a joke, it's like you're on the other side of
Yes.
fashion there. But then, you know, but I could be talking out of my butt. I could just be making stuff up.
I remember at school I used to wear stuff that was like not cool, but then I look back, so I was cool.
You were so cool. You
Yeah.
pushed through. Yeah.
So cool. Just
No,
didn't know it.
that's about right. Because 70s wear became hip again in the 90s,
Yeah.
as did the music. You know,
Yeah.
that sort of
Yeah.
70s funk
Yeah.
thing.
And the 80s, it went. And then in all the 2000s, all the 80s
The
stuff come
skinny
back.
jeans. Yeah, that's right.
And I remember I used to hate the idea of skinny jeans. I was like, I'm never wearing them.
Same.
And I wear them all the time.
Well, I noticed the older I get, the skinnier the jeans get.
Oh, that old conundrum, is it?
Yes. Like these are supposed to be flares, but I'm filling them out quite fully.
Yeah.
Especially wearing a top.
That's all right. You know, you'll work through it. I don't know. I'm not going to comment what your jeans are like.
Cycles of Neptune.
Yeah, check it out. Cycles of Neptune is a good book for those of you. I know most of you have tuned in to hear us prattle on about nothing, but there's a really good book by Liz Green, Neptune and the Quest for Redemption.
Okay.
It's quite an interesting text. She does a deep dive into the sort of psychology behind it. But yeah. So for me, the boomer thing is more of a franchise philosophy than it is an actual point of generational things. And sure enough, the ones before them were much worse. Like, you have hardcore mainstream racism in the generations before, and so on and so forth. So it is a bit silly, but at the same time, bloody hell. Come on, Australia. What are you doing?
Well, the thing, you can't blame anyone. Like once you have,
Well, you could blame everyone.
it's
It's one or the other.
well, if you blame others, you're blaming yourself. We're all the same, We're all complicit, aren't
Yeah.
we?
We are. Yeah. Well, that's the end of the podcast, folks. We hope hope you've had a great time.
That's hilarious. We've got 2 more tunes. No?
Two more tunes,
my
yeah.
gosh.
2 more tunes.
2? Yeah, we've got Uncle Affie's
Uncle Affie's
Tap.
Tap.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is going to be played with band and all that sort of stuff. And
Yep.
because it's in
Well,
G,
we're going to play it now
lends
as
itself.
well.
Now, am I starting this one? Or
I'll start if you
yeah,
like.
I think it's best if you do.
I'll start it. I'll make it a bit faster.
Or
Yeah?
look out.
Do you want it fast?
No, I don't. I'll take whatever I'm given at this point.
Okay, all right. This tune's from Cameron Island.
Okay.
Centimetres.
Centimetres. Or centimetres.
Centimetres. Oh. That's fun.
That was a fun tune. It's a fun tune. It's good to play one in G and get out all the banjo licks.
Yes, I thought that's your happy place.
Kind of, yeah.
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 It's my rut, actually. It's my rut.
Yeah, I'm like that with D,
I feel
actually.
like my
D's
fingering on
D's a
your
nice
right.
fiddle tune, fiddle key.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. G's good too, but I just haven't liked it.
Well, yeah. It's got that all the time. No, I can't get it. I can't do it now.
Put pressure on yourself. You know what? I play differently. I don't play exactly what's on the dots there.
No, neither do I. Never do either. I sort of bounce around a lot.
I don't do
That's pretty
those,
close, yeah.
yeah, but it's tricky when I teach it, or because I'm like, I actually don't play.
Well, do you remember when we
I
had...
don't know why. I think that's just how I've. Again, it's one of those things because when you play it fast, it's really hard to do those extra quavers. So it's kind of almost a shortcut in a way, but it just sort of sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last season we had Miranda in who went through all these tunes with us.
Yeah, we did.
And showed us all different ways of playing it.
Yeah, that was really good.
Season 2, it's called All Aboard the Cape Barron Special, if you're interested, folks. But
Yeah, that's a
Is she a Cape Barron folk specialist?
Yeah.
Her mum's Cape Barron.
Cool. Yeah, right.
And she grew up with Ronnie Summers and learned to play through those guys and so on. But her story's there on season 2.
Yeah. Go and have a listen. Yeah, it was good because she. Oh, was it this tune? Or it was another tune we discovered we both learned at 2 different keys.
Yeah.
So
the
Old clock?
Old clog,
Yeah.
clog, yeah.
Yeah, because I learned it in D and she's new to G. And like when we played it, we were like, oh, we're in the
Your fifth out.
2 different keys. But yeah, it was quite good, just to get, that interpretation from her. Like,
So that
It was good.
is 5 tunes that we are certainly going to have Randall play on the squeeze box on the album.
Yeah.
We'll have other instrumentation as well.
Yeah.
And we'll have other... It won't be as rough as what you've heard tonight, folks, but this is just like a band meeting that you are privy to.
Yeah.
All the nonsense that goes down when we have a rehearsal, 5 minutes of playing, 20 minutes ranting about nonsense and
Political nonsense. Political
destroying, assassinating people's characters who we don't know.
Yep. That's
just
pretty
how,
much how we roll.
That's how music goes.
Making enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Carl is. Not me.
No, you're very diplomatic, Em.
That's right.
Yeah, it makes me sick.
You're a peacemaker.
That's right. Oh, come on. It's all right. People always tell me when they listen to the podcast, they're like, I really like how you just keep Carl in line. I'm like, no worries. I
Who said
steer
that?
it back. Oh, people.
Give me their emails.
No,
No, it's fine.
I won't give you their emails.
Yeah, so that's 5 tunes that we just played. There
Yeah,
of
but we
the
do
album.
have one more.
Well, we thought we'd give dealer's choice because we've got to, I mean, it's so Randall's come in here and we've thrown him a bunch of these tunes that we haven't looked at in quite a while.
Yep.
So now Randall's going to throw one at us that we haven't looked at in
I know.
quite a while.
I'm going to throw it.
Well, remember, it's the jazzy one.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to do
I did.
that
Well,
one.
you know, Randall taught me it. You
Did
know,
he?
Did
for
I
like-
really?
For 3 years. So glad. I was such a memorable student.
You were.
Like 2 years. 3 years. For most of my
Is that how long it took
degree.
you to learn it?
Yeah, it took me 3 years to learn
learn
this
this
tune.
tune?
Yeah. Randall never gave up.
I think
going,
you already knew this one.
go, come on,
I
Em,
think
you can do this time. Yeah, because like used to bring you a coffee every lesson.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
That's
It was
right.
like I'd get the text, "Do you want a coffee?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh,
Never
that'd be
brought me a
lovely,
coffee,
thank
but
you."
I brought him a coffee.
Well, yeah.
That's how it
Should have
rolls.
been an apple.
At
Shouldn't
the
have been
old
that.
con. Those
the
good
old
memories.
con. Yeah. Great days, great days.
They were.
Well, yeah.
So sad.
I liked the old building, how it leaked and when it rained.
So did
and-
I. I how it smelt. I
Yep.
love the toilet on the first floor that was kind of like a Freddy Krueger nightmare sort of scenario.
Well, always blocked. Was
Well,
that?
I always
or
wanted
not?
to do a beginner's guide to the con toilets because everyone had its own quote unquote flavour. So
That was the smelly one, wasn't it?
yeah, so that was the Freddy Krueger one.
Yeah.
And then there was another one which was the Sid Vicious one, which looked like you would, if you had a drug habit, you would die there of an overdose in that thing. And then there was the luxurious penthouse suite that was a really clean and cool one. If you
I never
could get
went to
in.
that one.
Ah, so you got to be onto
Was
that.
Where
that
was
right
that
at the
one?
top? Was it?
All these different, no, it was third floor, second floor, third floor, or something, and
Yeah.
each one had its own different vibe.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. Yeah.
But they were uniquely different. Like they weren't just there wasn't a homogenous thread. Each one
yeah,
was
very uniquely different.
spectacular. Each one had its very
Each
own
level was
different
uniquely
thing.
different, really.
Yeah.
Let's face it,
Old
each level.
school plumbing, those the handles that you
Yeah.
pull down.
I liked the building there. It was fun to go to uni there.
Yeah.
When they
It's
tear
really
it down, I'm going to run in and grab some tiles and make a little thing out of it.
That'd be heritage, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
they wouldn't be
well,
able to tear that down.
Well, they are. They're
you
gonna-
kidding me?
Yeah, they're going to tear it down. They're going to tear it down. They're going to burn it. They're going to put all the musicians in it, and then they're just going to shoot a lot of them, peel over them, and then that's it.
But the real crime would be the destruction of the building.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't mind sacrificing myself if it means the building remains empty and just in the state it was when they closed it forevermore. Yeah, just put a big.
Why don't they turn it into a music venue? That'd be nice.
No, that'd be a disaster. Can you imagine that?
I think that'd be hilarious. And we should run it.
I wonder if
That'd
we'll
be
get a
great.
walkthrough before they destroy it, just for
Old school walkthrough.
Yeah.
just for old time's sake.
We'll have to find who we could ask for that.
Mm.
Or we should just... What was the
Oh,
old
look, I
security
reckon we
guard
just do
name?
it. We
What was
just
he?
Jerry.
Jerry,
yeah.
yeah, we'll just ask him.
He was the best security guard I've ever met in any venue
Jerry.
anywhere.
Who was the
He was the
one?
only guy who could shut me down, and I didn't fight him.
He was nice.
Yeah,
He was nice. He came like mid my degree because the security guard before, I forgot his name. But one time I went there
Oh, him, yeah.
and he wasn't very nice. And one time I came there.
He loved his job too much.
Yeah.
he probably thought I'm with them. I'm down
Well,
here.
he
at the
threw
Conservatorium
out
with these
my
bloody
grandfather. Like
musicians.
my grandfather
kidding
came to
me?
visit. Yeah, so
Curly Wolf.
no, Bernard.
Oh, Bernard.
Yeah. And
Threw him out. What, scruff of the neck?
well, we were
Or-
up level 2 doing
Yeah.
recording, and because Harry and I were doing gypsy jazz stuff, and he goes, "Have you got a visitor's pass?" And I was like, "No, we just." It was when they changed the rules, with having visitors come in, and I said, "Look, it's my grandfather. Will be like 5 minutes," and he goes, "Nope, you have to go." So he kicked us out, and we just recorded it in
Unreal.
St David's Park. But I was like,
Oh,
and my
wow.
grandfather being how he was. He was like, I think he was 70 something time. He goes, I'm a 70-year-old man and I can't believe you're throwing me out. And I think he wrote a letter.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, we'll be literally like 5
Fair
minutes.
enough. I mean, that's just rule ticking boxes to the extreme,
Yeah.
isn't it?
He just wasn't having a bar of it, and I was like, oh, well, okay. I mean, like, we're both here studying, and it's just, it was, I can't remember what, we're just doing a little video of or something.
Outrageous. So,
Guys.
folks, we're going to
Oh.
end this podcast on that dour note.
We've got
the politics
we
are
should make the
screwed. The
next one
Russians are
happy.
here at the border. Everything's screwed. Music is finished.
Wait, there's no no
Gen
one's
Xers are here too, messing up the place.
No, they're the nicest ones.
You think
Carl.
they're the nicest ones? Only because
Yeah.
the only ones you know are nice ones. There's plenty of bad ones out there. No,
Well,
so-
I'm going to remain
Have you ever
positive.
had a Gen Xer explain Star Wars to you?
Yeah.
Really?
They're
And you still
totally-
come out on top saying they're nice people?
You don't like Star Wars?
I don't mind it. But like Alec Guinness said, it's like, oh, you liked me in Star Wars, did you? Well, do you know I'm in other films as well that are much better? That's what he said to the Star Wars fan. You really got to break out of this Star Wars mentality. There's other films out there. You know, I was in this one and that one and
It's great.
the other one. Yeah, it was great. He actually told him off because he was come to get the Ben Kenobi. You know, how funny is that? But it's
Anywho,
Okay, right.
let's play.
Minor Swing.
Let's play Minor Swing.
And this song
classic.
will get us a copyright strike on YouTube, even though it's probably... Is it public domain?
Oh, it would have to
Would have to be.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out, YouTube, won't we? We'll find out.
All right, I can remember. Remember how it goes.
When you're ready.
3
I was terrible then. Thank you.
That was fun.
You're always terrible, Carl.
Oh.
Not musically, though. Always fabulous musically, but ooh, you are terrible.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Randall, and on the podcast.
And I hope you
That was
will
a
still
pleasure.
play with us on the album.
Can't wait.
Yeah, awesome.
It's going to be fun.
So if you are interested, Randall is the guy who played accordion on the last CD, which is on Bandcamp. This has been the Wolfe Thorn. Why do I always put my picks away before I do my sign-off little banjo script?
Don't know. What's wrong with you, man?
Don't know. So you've been listening to CC Thornley. That's me. I play the banjo.
And I've been Emily Wolfe, been playing the fiddle.
hell was that?
And I'm Randall, I play the accordion.
And we'll see you guys next month with another update, and we'll probably make some more progress. We'll have a little band meeting. We'll sort out maybe even a studio date. Who knows? We might even have someone else in. But rest assured, you will see us in about a month's time.
Or you'll hear us, won't see us.
Yeah, we see. Well, you might even see us.
Who knows? You see us in the street.
Yeah, could see. Yeah, with Google Maps, you can just Google us, and there we are. You'll be looking at the top of our heads, so you won't recognise our faces. But that's us.
That's us. That's right.
Thanks very much, Randall.
Thanks, Randall.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.